we're going to take this file that we worked on early on in disc 1 of our training, part 1 of our training, and add some more information in here, bring in some more pictures to create more of a montage on this. Let's take a look at our layers. We already have a certain level of a montage. We're combining two pictures in here. I have a little bit of a demo with some shading up there, which we looked at previously. So we have this image where we clipped out the background, and we have combined that with the image of the ocean in here. Let's do a little more now to this particular image. I'm going to float the layers up here again, just get that so it's easily accessible. I have a couple of different pictures here. Here's one with some clouds, and I have another one here with another ship. And let's see if we can bring these together somewhat successfully. We'll start off with this ship picture, and let's bring in or cut out a little bit of this ship. Let's just come in here. Let's just make a basic marquee just like that, and let's copy that, go back to our file here, which I've renamed Montage, and below this layer and above the layer 3, let's just hide this layer temporarily. Right above layer 3, let's do an edit, paste, and bring that right in above. Now we need to find how we can mash this or blend this into this image. We can kind of take a look and see how things are looking like that. There's a ship just outside, as you can see. And let's first see if we can adjust the quality of this image a little bit. It's a little bit on the sharp side, so let's soften it down just a touch. Let's go up here to our filter and come down to our blur, and let's use the Gaussian blur on this and give it just a little bit of a blur, just a touch. See what that does. That softens it up nicely. That might be okay. It's one option. Let's try something else. Take a look at another one of our blurs in here. Let's try a smart blur. A little large in there still. Back that up a little bit. And that's not too bad. That's a little better. Just softens the image down a touch and helps to blend it in the background a little bit better. Now we need to get rid of a lot of information in this one that we're not going to be using. As you can see here, one thing I did was I matched the horizon on these two shots. So we can then clip out that horizon area. We don't need anything above. Let's just minimize this for a minute. We don't need anything here above this section, so we can clip out that as well. So we'll start with grabbing a Marquee Tool. I'm just going to drag a little marquee in here, and we can use this to begin cutting out parts of the picture that we don't want to have. Maybe coming in right along the side here. Hit the delete key and just remove some of this excess stuff in here. There we go. We're going to blend this into the same water, so I think I'll leave the water alone. We'll try cutting it off at the horizon line. Need to be a little closer now, so let's zoom in just a touch here. And then using our other tools, I get my personal favorite tool here, the polygonal lasso tool. I'll come in here and then just work around the image and just follow some of the lines. We can lose some of that rigging. It's not that critical. You can also put that rigging back in again. Just draw in some fake rigging. And we'll clip out some stuff in here. In order to bring this back around and overlap on the beginning, to close the circle off, hit the delete key, and then we can deselect that. So it's a process of going in and clipping things out. Now when you do this, you're going to have a little bit of a white halo around here. We'll have a halo effect. So we'll want to come back and trim that out as well. Now it'll take a while to come in here and clean this inside area out, and a lot of careful work to clean that out. I'm not going to spend the couple of hours it'll take in here to do that, but I'll just show part of the technique for you. And again, just using this tool to come around the rigging here. Well, let's follow this rigging straight up. If you hold the tool right up against the top edge, it will move the window up. And we'll come down here a little bit. And again, just kind of trimming out the excess background that we don't want. You could use the magic wand and try to grab some of the stuff with the magic wand as well. It depends upon how you want to approach this. Any selection tool is fine. You even can just use an eraser and erase it by hand if you want to. I'm going to come clear out and around like this and back around to my start point, which is right there. Hit the delete key on that. Let's make sure we're on the right layer. There we go. So it's taking out a little bit of that information and slowly working out and clipping out the stuff that we don't want. Again, it'll take a little while to do that. I now need to bring in this water and make this water match a little bit better. I don't want to be doing a whole lot down in here. So let's grab our eraser tool. Let's bring this down to a fairly soft eraser tool like that. Let's bring the opacity down a little bit and bring the flow down a little bit, just softening up the tool. If I now come in and erase in with this tool, I can come in like this and just kind of push into the edges. And brush in and just soften those edges up like that. And the water then blends in well enough for our use. We can bring this down even further and then just really work back in here just a little bit at a time, fading out the water like that, but letting it blend into the other existing water. There we go. And through a process like this, just go through and work away or take out the parts of the image that we don't need. Of course, there's a lot of work in here to clean up all the stuff inside the rigging. That would take a while to do. I'm not going to do a whole lot of that. Let's take a little bit of that out. We'll try using the magic wand to see how this does. Okay, way too much. Let's choose contiguous. Let's bring our tolerance down. Let's try it down to 10. Maybe in here somewhere. That's not too bad. So we can use the magic wand at this setting and get rid of a lot of this stuff. We'll need to go back in and, again, put in some of the rigging possibly. Just using the pencil tool, give it a color which matches, and then paint back in some of that rigging. So if a little bit of the rigging is showing, that's fine. We can clean that up and then also use that as a guide to bring rigging back in again. Let's see if we can show a little bit of the background here. Okay, beginning to get someplace on this. Again, it'll take a while to properly do this, to clean this whole thing out. I probably spend a couple or 3 hours on this particular image. But you get the idea, just coming in and taking out all the excess stuff and cleaning up this image. Let's just put back in a couple of those rigging lines so you can see how that would be done. Those will be on a new layer. So I'll first come and grab my magic wand and or the eyedropper rather, and let's find a good rigging color. Kind of a medium gray, I think, in here somewhere. You can see it right there. That's a pretty good color. Let's come down to our brush and grab the pencil tool. Or maybe even better yet, let's grab the line tool. That would give us a guaranteed straight line. I'm going to draw a straight line. Now this is way too thick, as you can see right there. So let's bring these this down to just one point, and on our layers panel here, let's delete that shape. I should just drag it off just like that. There we go. Back to our line tool, and let's put a line just right up across there. Went a little too fast just then. Put a little line like that, and let's bring another one over here. Could possibly become a little darker or a little lighter. You may want to vary your shades a little bit on these lines, because rigging will have some variation happening on it. Make it look authentic. It's like a little light white or white line right there. Not too bad, just beginning to bring in some of these rigging lines back in again using the line tool. So you're going to rebuild a lot of the rigging. It's not really going to be apparent that you're doing that once you get out to this level. You'll just be seeing some of these lines in here. Just make sure you match the effect of these other lines. For instance, right down in through here, let's grab one of these darker colors like that, and then I'll follow one of these lines up. And work that in. Now those are in the wrong spot. I need to bring those above our other layer. There we go. So they're sitting above this layer. So again, just coming in and rebuilding the lines in the rigging and just working in that a bit at a time. Luckily the lines are all pretty straight, so it's easy to do. And as you work through, you can begin to clean up the image and blend the one image into your other image. Let's take a look at this with our sailing ship on top of that. Notice how it just blends right in real nicely. Now you don't see a lot of that stuff because it's all hidden in here, and what is here is confused even more by the rigging in front of that. We may want to move that layer around a little bit, our ship layer. So I'm going to select this layer, select the top of these shapes, and let's merge all those down together. Right there, merge layers. I'll merge those into one layer. I now can use my cursor keys here, and let's just back this ship up a little bit, make it a little better position so we can see more of that ship. Just like that, we can see the front of the ship now and a lot of the back of the ship in our big wide open area here. Looks a little more realistic. Let's now play with our cloud shape and bring some of that cloud shape in here. So I'll go to our white clouds. This one's a little trickier to bring this in, but I think we can do this. Let's just select all, edit copy, come back here to our other picture. I'm going to close that one down. There's a Photomontage right there. On layer 3, edit paste, and let's see what we have here to work with. There's that cloud right in there. I kind of like the top of that cloud, but I want to keep the bottom water area okay and just use just part of the clouds up here. So for this, let's hide our ship, and let's hide the foreground ship, and I'll put a little bit of a transparency on this layer just like that so I can see where the water level is. I can now clip off a lot of this stuff. Let's just use the eraser tool here, and I'm going to bring the flow and opacity up clear to the top just for a moment and cut out a lot of this excess. I'll just come way out like this and just erase all this. So this is just garbage at this point. We don't need this. Just kind of erase this out of the picture. There we go. Clean that all out. We now can bring that layer back up to 100% and then change our brush again here. Let's bring our brush down pretty low, 27%. Bring this down quite a ways. And like we did on the water, I'm now going to carefully erase back into the edge of this cloud and give us just a soft cloud effect. may want to go for a little bit of a smaller brush on this to bring our brush size down a little bit. So the trick is to really come in carefully and slowly on this and not take out too much at a time, so we can then blend that cloud in nicely. Just kind of fade it out at the top up here, fade it into the other picture a little bit, which is fine. And then to help match this in a little more, I'm going to bring in a little bit of transparency to soften it down just a touch. Just kind of fades it into the background there a little bit. There we go, and clean up some of the more of the edge. So we've added another cloud now into our layer. I can take out this stuff down below. Of course, that's down below the edge of our ship, so we can ignore that. Let's bring that back in, bring this ship back in again. And so there we have a little more cloud. I can adjust that cloud now so it looks get the right level of cloud in there. Maybe I'll lighten that cloud up a little bit. And we need to cut it out down below still, so there's a little bit of a problem right down there. So it's a process, as you can see here, of going back and forth and working with this. Let's choose our nice little polygonal tool. I'm just going to cut this off right across the edge of the water like that. Hit the delete key and just clip that clean out. There we go. Bring our layers back up again, and let's show our ship. Make sure that all looks good. You do a little bit of cleaning up back here still. So let's bring that layers panel back up again. There we go. Put it over here where it's out of the way. Again, let's hide the foreground. Let's clean that up. Go back to our eraser tool. We still have our good eraser settings on here, so I can come in and just erase in here and get rid of some of this stuff. And help to bring in our new cloud, make it a little nicer blend. So we're just kind of working in, slowly working in the different elements. Like that's what we're getting then is this nice montage of images, which looks as if we have our sailing ship here out in the ocean someplace. There's another ship just off to the side, nice clouds in the background, lots of different effects, and just a matter of just bringing your pictures together and then working them in slowly. One last thing I'll demonstrate right now. Let's go back to our sailing ship right here. And this way we have that kind of a light halo edge happening on a lot of this stuff. Get rid of that, of course, by going up here to the layer, and it's just off screen where it says matting and defringe. We looked at that previously. Let me bring that up. I have that hidden just outside here in the menus and matting. There we go. We can defringe or remove a white mat. We have those two different options at the bottom of the layer menu. So let's try those, see what happens. So I'll choose defringe first. We'll remove one pixel and see what happens. Maybe that's not the best selection. Let's try something else. Let's try to remove the white mat. That's not too good either. So those really aren't working for us. So you'll have to come in here and just carefully blend in the edges on the ship to get this properly blended in with the background. Again, it'll take a while to do that, but once that's done, it should blend in very nice. It's just a matter of taking the time to properly come in and work that effect. We also, of course, can bring in our little variation here, a little shaded matte, and use that to blend that back in further again if you want to. So there you go. Just a few ideas, a few thoughts on working with the different tools to help montage pictures together. Thank you for watching my video. I hope you found it useful. If you like this video, click on the like button below to let others know. You can click the subscribe button so you don't miss any of my videos in the future. I'm frequently uploading new training videos. Don't forget to check out my website at howtogurus.com. You can share this video with your friends and coworkers. Just click on share and then click on the social media buttons. Feel free to comment on my videos. I try to answer all comments as quickly as I can. And finally, you can get all of my training videos on DVD at howtogurus.com. Thanks again for watching.